Leaders, diplomats and foreign ministers from numerous countries, including those from Arab, European, and African regions, met in Cairo on Saturday. Discussed was the issue of Palestine's situation, as reported by the New York Times. An extensive number of speeches were made, but ultimately, no resolution was reached. The only outcome seemed to be a deepening divide. Arab leaders pointed out the failure of Western nations to condemn Israeli airstrikes that caused harm to Gaza Strip's Palestinian residents. King Abdullah II of Jordan noted that Western countries seem to prioritize Israeli lives over Palestinian lives. According to him, our lives matter less than the lives of others. The application of international law is not binding and human rights have boundaries. They are limited by borders, races and religions. Ordinarily, every international summit ought to culminate in a joint communiqué that all attendees can concur with. European leaders were aware beforehand that they couldn't sign Egypt's draft declaration, since it didn't include Israel's right to defend themselves. As a result, there was no joint statement. Nonetheless, some statements made by European leaders suggest that the spike in civilian deaths and the imminent humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip has altered Western rhetoric. While Western leaders asserted that Israel has the right to defend itself, they all urged Israel to comply with international law and enhance security for Palestinian civilians. Moreover, they expressed their eagerness to attend the Cairo meeting to demonstrate their concerns for Palestinian civilians to their Arab allies. The article's author observes that the West's reaction has been criticized for insincerity and double standards. In many parts of the Muslim world, they view Israel's attacks as justified, despite labeling comparable Russian actions in Ukraine as war crimes. However, at the Cairo conference, every Arab leader expressed their indignation at these two-faced attitudes and grieved for the thousands of Palestinian civilians killed by Israeli airstrikes. If this had happened anywhere else, the assault on civilian infrastructure and the deliberate denial of basic necessities such as food, water and shelter to the entire population would have been condemned, stated Jordan's King Abdullah. The article's author points out that European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen made several mistakes during her term, which added to the allegations against her. For instance, one of her commissioners stated that the EU would halt aid to Gaza after the Hamas attacks on the 7th of October. Additionally, she didn't attend the Cairo summit and instead sent one of her deputies. However, in recent times, European leaders have endeavored to alter their rhetoric. The Greek premier reminded that the laws of war forbid collective punishment and total siege is illegal under global laws. Furthermore, all Western officials at the gathering talked about the importance of providing uninterrupted humanitarian assistance to Gaza, and some even promised to boost it. As per the New York Times, censure of von der Leyen has increased within the EU. Around 850 European Commission employees sent a letter to her, accusing her of applying double standards and claiming that the European Commission has enabled Israel to commit war crimes in Gaza.